Paritan Rumble going to be map number 2. Phenomenally similar.
Did they actually go double galleon, or did they switch when they had the opportunity?
I don't know. I didn't look. I
Well,
was...
we're about to find out, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so. Paritan Rumble going to be match number 2 of the Storm Riders versus Blunderfish and Metamidian. I'm very impressed at what the
Yep.
Thralls have been able to do. This is a treat to see the Thralls and the Riders play against one another. There's some serious rivalry going on here.
Yup. Just yup. If you want to take the red team.
Sure. For the Riders, the Storm Riders specifically, we have the Deicide, a Galleon being piloted by Dementio. Flak, Hwacha, and Gatling port side, so a very close range Galleon build, with a Harpoon on the back, and double Carronade on the starboard. We also have the Lib ATK, another Galleon being piloted by Luyosi. Lumberjack, Flak, and Hades on the port side here for a slightly longer range build, medium range more like it. Flare on the back with a Carronade Hwacha on the starboard.
And then for the blue team, we once again have the Blunderfish for the 5th time in a row. Well, no, we saw Squid at one point. Anyway, the Blunderfish is unsurprisingly a Blunderfish Fiasco piloting with once again that very familiar Flamer. Oh, they got double Flamer this time.
Double
support.
Flamer.
Oh, that's a new one. And to wrap things up, the Metamidian, which is still not a Metamidian, with that Gatling, Artemis, and Banshee Flare support.
Yep, now it's getting shots on the Deicide, disabling both of those heavy guns. Now the Gatling is still up. It's going to get shots on the Metamidian, but the Metamidian is going to return with some of its own. It's too low to really do anything right now, but the Deicide is body blocking for the Metamidian. The Metamidian gets bopped down into the bridge, and it's not looking great for this fight. Deicide, however, not looking great either. They're both kind of stuck. Which one is going to be able to actually get out of this nasty position first? Blunderfish and Lib ATK in the meantime going at it. Lib ATK right now is at its, well, it's not actually at its optimal range. It's got its brawling side facing here. Watch it goes out. A lot of it goes wide on the Metamidian, and it, okay, just barely disables a couple of guns there.
Yeah, I mean, this Blunderfish right now is in a great position to be hitting both the Lib and the Deicide.
Deicide's balloon was down. It's down on the ground. It's going to take a long time for it to come back up and get into this fight.
I am really liking this Piri build against these Galleons with the Artemis and that Gatling gun. Both of them, the Artemis definitely has a lot of disabled potential, and the Gatling has disabled potential against large weapons, which is pretty much what this Galleon is carrying, and all Galleons, really.
Ooh, Metamidian, however, loses its balloon. It manages to slip down between the buildings, but that's going to leave the Blunderfish all alone. It's got to focus on the Deicide, make sure that that brawling potential does not come to fruition. But the Carronade is down. There we go. The repair comes back up. It's going to send the Deicide back down into the ground as the Metamidian picks the Deicide as its target. I think that's the wrong choice, Kirk.
Kirk?
Yes.
What'd I do? I made the wrong choice when?
No, I think that was the wrong choice of the Metamidian.
Oh, and then you're referring to me. Okay, that's
yes.
a direct address. Gotcha.
Yes.
Kirk, you made the wrong choice. I'm like, what?
Kirk, you suck.
Kirk, learn how to play.
You're the worst. The literal worst.
How long you been in this game? You still don't know shit. No. This Blunderfish is attempting to juggle both of these Galleons, but he's having a rough time when both those Galleons are also carronading him, and we are seeing the permahole potential of these carronades. They're just pumping into his balloon with the armor and the balloon down. It's just going into his hull, and he's having a bad day.
It's in a bad place. It gets his balloon back up, though. The armor is holding. Not anymore. Never mind. Watch it comes out, going into the balloon. The balloon comes back up and actually eats a lot of that damage. That was very close, and I think that was the right decision to repair the balloon there.
Oh, Metamidian has got a wide open shot on the engine columns of the Deicide. However, Blunderfish is trying to slip under the Deicide. Deicide attempting a Goomba Scomp a little bit not quite forward enough. That is a phrase. Flames going down, just a little flamelet going on. Banshee already coming in now. Deicide is tanking hull. Like, that hull was up really quick for a galley.
Yeah, right now they're just trying to buy time for Lib ATK to come in. Blunderfish taking a lot of damage from the Metamidian, using that Banshee to great effect, chipping away at the hull of the Deicide. Something has got to be done about this Metamidian, or else they're going to lose their first Galleon.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, the only thing they're able to do is chip away at the Deicide. However, chipping away they are. Everyone is tanking the hull. There goes
Blunderfish
the Blunderfish.
is gone.
Metamidian has got to pick up this kill quickly if he wants a chance.
There's the
And
Banshee.
it looks like, okay, one.
Taking
All right,
the
the hull's
armor.
about to burn out.
Lumberjack coming in on the Metamidian. The balloon's down. The Metamidian has such a small window to destroy the Deicide. Banshee is at the ready, and they take it out.
Very nice. Right before they dropped out of arcs, you saw that.
Oh, no.
Nick the bottom. They hit a
Metamidian.
building hard. That flat
Oof.
cannon. Oh man, they just nicked the corner of that building, and that just sealed their fate. 2-1 Storm Riders.
They dropped onto it. They were in a really nasty position. They
That
were
was-
on
that
top
was-
of a building.
However, Lib is at about a third of his perma left, and Blenderfish is coming around. They are engaging each other full frontal. Goldfish definitely has the advantage in this engagement with a front gun versus the Galleon's only side guns.
Would you call this engaging with full frontal impunity?
Goodbye. It's been a pleasure.
I'm like Dan 2.0.
This is even worse. Oh, man.
Metamidian coming in. Deicide a little bit farther away, and it's rushing to try and help its ally.
I
But
don't think
that
it's
last
gonna make it.
engagement was so close. This could go either way at this point.
I don't think. Oh, Deicide. Hwacha comes in.
Oh no. The
They
Lib
only
ATK is on
they
top
only
of a
lost-
building.
They only lost the Artemis. The Artemis. However, flash
Oh,
gun.
flak. The Lib
They
ATK is on top of a
got
building, but the Blenderfish
flack.
cannot stick around here.
No, Blenderfish is getting some good flame locks actually.
Oh,
going
no.
down, while the Lib loses its perma. Oh, if he can keep the Deicide flame locked and the Lib balloon locked, if he can maneuver the Goldfish into a position to keep both of these ships
No.
locked down in one way or another,
The Lib
he
backed
might
off.
be able-
The Lib backed off of the building. This is going to be really hard for the Blenderfish. Oh no! They're still technically on top of it. The balloon hits, and now they're
no.
stuck? Not quite. The Blenderfish doesn't have the hull killing potential.
Pulls
The Lib ATK
down.
loses its
However,
armor.
that flamer is doing chipping.
Oh!
Lib
Armor
is
comes back
in
up.
full repair mode. There's nothing, and the Goldfish is behind hard cover from the Deicide right now. The way that building is maneuvered, he just cannot quite nick anything other than the front end of that balloon.
Now the Deicide, however.
While the Metamidian is coming in and doing damage on the Deicide, Lib, it's still getting itself back up to maximum potential. Like, it's going to be a while before he's going to be able to dish out the damage that is possible for that Galleon.
Yeah, and the Lib ATK is kind of stuck right now. Deicide getting a flare in its balloon, 2 flares in its balloon. That's going to bring it down very quickly.
I mean,
There it goes.
especially if the only thing they have is chem spray. I mean, those 20 stacks, fire does a lot of damage against balloons.
Banshee coming out. I am very impressed with the Metamidian's use of the Banshee in these games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people utilize the front gun on a Junker every day of the week, but don't utilize the side guns on a Permidian, even though they have the same arcs. They're 90 degrees apart.
Yeah, listen to that screaming Banshee. Deicide already almost destroyed. One last armor break will do it. Banshee
Boom,
is
boom,
ready.
boom.
Wow.
And that's all she wrote. Blenderfish just riding the Lib down, staying right in front of him. There are no arcs on that galley. And the Metamidian is shooting through the building a little bit. Very impressive.
Wow, that's actually kind of impressive, yeah. Lib ATK loses its balloon, armor is burning, lots of things are burning. They're using drogue
And
shoot,
one
but
more
that's not
shot.
going to be enough. Blenderfish claims the kill.
3-3 with Thralls and Friends at full perma. This smells familiar.
You're not kidding. Now, this is very different. This is less about the Blenderfish's positioning, and to me, this is more about the Metamidian's ability to engage. Yeah, you were talking about, the Blenderfish's ability, kind of try to juggle these Galleons, but that's hard. Like,
Yeah.
that's nigh impossible to try and juggle Galleons like that, because, like you said in the last match, the Galleon's vertical mobility is very slow, so even when it loses its balloon, it's dropping slowly.
Yes,
Plus, they
yes.
have drogue shoot. So
Yes.
the Blenderfish is more there for crowd control. It focuses down one ship, brings it down. So a lot of this is kind of the opposite. Now it's all about how well can the Metamidian stay in the engagement? How well can it place itself? Can it keep its engines buffed? Can it keep its Banshee in arc? And that all depends on whether they can get the disables they need on these Galleons. And then after that, have a good follow-up engagement. Otherwise, it becomes a brutal brawl.
Yeah,
And you saw the
absolutely.
potential of the flak.
Yeah, oh gosh, that just
God.
ripped that poor painting to shreds. However, Oracle, you do have to remember there's more than one way to lock down a galleon, especially these ones which have minimal fire suppression. What we saw the
Yes.
Blunderfish doing was balloon locking one galleon and flame locking the other one, which
Yeah.
definitely bought enough time for the meta meeting to come in and save it. That was some really good playing I saw there, and that
I
Blunderfish better
agree.
get behind this before his armor goes down, because then he's going to take a heavy whack to the face.
Yeah, he was about to. Balloon not looking great. Those lumberjack shots are very impressive. Little shout out to Fred V. Good job, man.
Good shots. Good shots, buddy.
Those were nice. Yeah,
These
those
galleons,
were nice.
yeah, these galleons are hooking up on one of the. I'm sorry, these galleons are hanging out, not hooking up. These galleons are. Slip of the tongue, I swear. Are hanging out in one
Welcome
of the
to Tinder.
Oh Jesus! They're hanging out in one of the sniper lanes. They're moving out now. Well, they're repositioning actually, almost as if they know where the Blunderfish is.
They have a suspicion.
I
They
think
they gotta suspect that the Blunderfish is ready to come from behind. That being said, even if they turn their guns into arc for it, this is a great position for Thralls and friends.
I love, like, I'm probably gonna get yelled at, like, that's not our team name after this.
Blunderfish and Metamidian.
Oh, but just Thralls and Friends is just so much more fun. Like, especially when I can't say it and my hard syllables come out wrong and it comes out as Thralls and Friends.
And friends. It was just when you were saying Glowwater Thralls. It was just when you were saying Glowwater Thralls. Like,
Yeah.
the friends bit is okay. Now the Metamidian is in a bad spot. The writers have done a great job of saying, "Oh, the Blunderfish is coming around from behind. Well, we'll be the first ones to engage in true writer style."
Yeah, Metaminion has just got his aft to both of these, and he's doing something really smart actually. And
That was
because
good.
Yeah, because the Permidian takes so long to turn around, sometimes it's actually faster to just reverse past your target than it is to turn around and engage them. And that's exactly what he did, which also put him in range for the Blunderfish. But that heavy flak is just so powerful.
Wow. And it's
The
gone.
Blunderfish.
Now the Blunderfish has got to get out of here. It cannot stick around. Ooh, good ram.
Oh,
But
Actually, that gets him in a good... No, he should have just continued down the path that he was on. That was actually a pretty decent escape route that he was just pointed at. He is locking down the balloon on the Dia side. Hwacha goes nice and wide.
Metamidian now spawns in close.
Oh.
Okay, so the Blunderfish got a really good position on these galleons. Can the Metamidian take advantage of it?
If he
Lib
can bounce
ATK's
off the
balloon
top
is
of the
so
lid,
good.
If he can bounce off the top. No, not quite. If he was able to bounce off the top of that lid, that would have kept those guns out of arc. However, he keeps everything.
Yeah.
No, he lost one gun. He lost one of his side guns, I believe. I believe the carronade is still operational.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and they're able to keep the Lib ATK down. This is, even though it's 4 for 3, this is looking excellent for the Thralls.
Yes. Both of those galleons are in a much lower position. Those guns are going to have a hard time hitting. They are within the heavy flak arming distance, which is definitely what's scored them 2 of the kills I can remember, maybe 3. These galleons are definitely looking overall the worst for wear. However, this could change in an instant. This is on the wire.
Oh
Absolutely.
no. Deicide's armor and balloon is down. The Banshee. Yeah, that scream. That scream means that the Thralls are doing what they do best in this best of 3 at least. Watcher going out on the
The
Metamidian.
juggling. We're seeing the juggling again. Usually juggling ships is a bad idea. However, they are definitely knocking permahull off on both of these ships as they juggle. So they're just going to chip both of these away until one goes down, and then the other will be weak enough to take down before that next galleon can spawn back in. I'm enjoying these tactics by both teams.
It's excellent, and the Thralls are pulling it off with aplomb. There's the Banshee again. The Deicide losing so much permahull. The drop is actually going to save it just barely as the Blunderfish comes in to drop the Lib ATK again. Now the Metamidian taking fire from the Lib ATK.
Oh, the
it's eating a lot of damage.
Is that going to turn it?
No, it's not.
Wide. The flaks go wide. That could have turned the entire engagement, or maybe it might have been even out of.
That would have
arc.
been the game.
Too low.
That would have been game.
That would have been game. I believe, however, the lib was too low. I don't fire the heavy flak that often, but I don't believe its upward arcs
I
are.
don't think it was that good, yeah. Oh, here we go. This is what you were talking about. Carronade on one galleon, flamethrower on the other, and it looks like this is gonna be it. I think the Thralls have this.
I think that here goes the lib. I'm really liking how this Blunderfish is keeping the balloon down, so the Gatling and the Artemis and the Banshee can all just hit a giant friggin' hitbox. And can just take there. There goes
Look at
one.
that.
One down, one to go. The armor is cooking away at the very end of it, and here he's grinding against the ground. One more shot.
Wow.
Thralls and friends, I'm going to put down a GG because that was fun to watch. Maybe even an HB for happy birthdays. Wow.
That was unbelievably good.
Holy cow berries indeed, Oracle. Holy cow berries indeed.